So we're here at Dunrills, where dreams are made, apparently. And we're here with
Sergeant Steve Hawkins from Devon and Cornwall Police.
And you obviously know this guy. Hopefully the light's not shining off his head too much.
Easy. It's raining.
But we're here and Steve is doing Bike Safe. So lots of people have heard about Bike Safe. They think they know what it is from other people doing videos, but what is Bike Safe actually about?
So Bike Safe is a national initiative. There's 37 of the police forces across England and Wales that are involved in it, and the short version really is that it's aimed at reducing road casualties and reducing care size and improving kind of motorcycling ability and awareness, and we kind of see it as our opportunity to give something back to the public. So we're fortunate that we've had a massive amount of training in the police. You know, we're not superheroes. We've just had a lot of training and a lot of riding experience. And Bike Safe's kind of our chance to give something back just for a day and try and raise awareness of what skills we've got, what we've learned, and what we know, and hopefully engage with the public in that way and you know, kind of improve road safety for everyone. So what sort of things do you go through? Because there's a classroom input, isn't there? Yeah. We talk to people about presumably what they're wearing, what they're doing on the bike, how they're riding. What sort of things do you cover? Yeah, so the day really consists of the morning input, which, as you say, is a classroom input where we present from a PowerPoint presentation, and we cover Roadcraft, which is a book that I'm sure you're very well versed with, which is kind of our Bible really, that we, you know, everything we do and the way we ride comes from Roadcraft. So we cover that. We cover about sort of machine handling, the kit that we wear, and then we signpost people to further training through ROSPA, IM and groups like that. So yeah, the morning is that kind of classroom input. We like to try and make it interactive, so get the people involved with it so they can ask us any questions we want, and you know, we can't promise that we always have the answers, but hopefully between us collectively we do. If not, we go away and find those answers out, and then we have a bit of lunch at lunchtime, and then we go out onto the ride outs where we basically follow the candidates and just give them a bit of input around what we see, what we think they might be able to do differently, and kind of discuss some of the things that we've talked about in that morning input and put it into practice on the road.
It's a preferred age group.
Preferred for us would probably be that we would like to get into the younger demographic, because that's where we see our high numbers of KSIs. Unfortunately, what we actually get is probably a slightly older demographic, and I think that comes because, I don't know about you guys, but as we get older, we all get a little bit more self-preservation, and so they're the kind of people that are thinking about road safety, and therefore thinking about things like Bike Safe and coming and joining us. But yeah, we would love to get some younger people in. We do get younger people, but just not in the volume that we would like.
Come with a dad.
Yeah, come with a dad, yeah, which again is, you know, is a great way to do it as well. If you've got a mate, a dad, you know, mum, whatever it may be that you want to come on a Bike Safe with, we welcome that. Come with your friends, yeah.
Do you find people come onto Bike Safe and are really nervous about what to expect, because it might be the first interaction they've had with the police? Yeah. And when you go out, you're not going, you're a rubbish rider, we're going to take you off the road, here's tickets. Yeah. Do you find that they get really nervous about that?
We do, yeah, we do. And you're absolutely right with that. So I think generally most people, you know, are kind of scared to death of the cops, aren't they? And nobody likes to, you know, drive along in their car or ride on their bike with a police officer following them in any normal time. So the concept of actually sort of coming for a day to have a police officer following you around is probably a scary thought. We are conscious of that, and what I would say is that you know, we're not here to give people a hard time. It's constructive. As I say, we don't pretend to be some sort of motorcycling gods or anything like that. It's about constructive feedback. To my knowledge, we've never ever given anyone a ticket or prosecuted anyone or anything like that. And what we do as well is we really say, try to come here and ride in the way that you normally would, so that we can see what your normal riding is. Because actually, if you come and try and do everything that that you think we want to see, then you're probably not going to get the same benefit out of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a relaxed. We're all motorcyclists together. It's supposed to be a relaxed day where you can kind of interact with us on a one-on-one basis and chat things through. And we're certainly not here to be the sort of harsh coppers that are going to give you a ticket. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? Because that relaxed side, and you saying about people riding how they always ride, is really important, isn't it? Because when they start trying to focus on what they think you're going to see, things go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all think advanced riding is for everybody on the road on a bike, but not everybody thinks the same way, do they?
No.
So if they're riding in the same way that they always ride, but are given some pointers about being a little bit safer, then it's achieving what we want them to achieve by being a bit safer on the road, isn't it? Even if they don't want to further their biking training.
Yeah, it is exactly that. And we always say if you can take just one small thing away from a day that keeps you a little bit safer, then that is a successful day for us. Ideally, we want to try and encourage people towards further training because, as you well know, we can't give somebody in a day, we can't make them become an advanced rider in a day. That's never going to happen. But we can give them those pointers and those tasters of what it could be like, and hopefully that encourages them to think, actually, yeah, bit of further training is for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what we're all about.
Excellent. So we're going to come out with you, aren't we, and follow you.
You are. So now I'll be scared because you'll be following me. So I'll know how the candidates feel now because you're following me around, making me nervous. But yes.
So we're going to come out with you and see what the first bit's about. We're not going to take over and we're not going to be there for the whole session, but just until you stop and then view the feedback.
Yeah.
And so that we can prove that the feedback comes in the way that you say, rather than what you think it might come back as. And then perhaps have a chat with the guys or the girls that you're with, see how they found the day, and then we'll leave you to it. But it gives you an idea of what Bike Safe is all about, because it's the start of your journey to being a more safer or improved. I don't want to say improve because we're all riders, but it's about improving your knowledge of that safety and hopefully getting a little bit safer, isn't it?
Yeah. We met at Bike Safe, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, all those years ago. And when we first started talking about the channel, he didn't say no. That's why we're here.
Right, Andy, how do you feel about Bike Safe? What made you sign up for it?
So I've had a gap of about 10 years since I last rode my bike, and I just felt like I absolutely want to get some really good training. And I have to say I was attracted by the fact that it's run by the police, and I started reading the roadcraft book, so yeah, it was a bit of a no-brainer. As soon as I got the bike, I signed up for it. So
okay. And were you nervous about coming this morning?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Well, do you know, it's that little thing about being vulnerable and being obsessed, and lots of people, what if I make a mistake, and usual sort of things we all worry about. But I have to say, whilst I might have been nervous for about the first 2 minutes on the ride, you do settle into it, and I'm sure I'll settle into it even more when I go back out. So yeah, no, it's good, and it's good to try and put into practice all the stuff you heard first thing this morning.
And was there any pre-course learning you had to do?
Yeah, we did. It's about 2 or 3 hours of e-learning, which I have to say was really good, because the briefing this morning in the classroom was almost just a bit of a reminder of what you've done, but also a chance to ask questions about some of the stuff on the e-learning. So it kind of hammers it in a nice way.
And I think people worry about it being a very formal event, but I don't think it is it?
No, it's very relaxed. Yeah, it's nice, and everyone's really fair. Of course, people are sometimes a bit nervous about being police officers. It's the uniform, not the people.
Yeah, we get that.
That's called conscience, mate.
Yeah, that's a guilty conscience on my part. But you know, the guys are so friendly, and you kind of get into it straight away, and you realise when you look beyond the uniform, we're just people, aren't we? So we're all people, humans, and we all want to be safe while riding bikes.
And so the first part was spent in the classroom, and the second part was you get to ride in a really weird position, because you've got a policeman behind you, and he said, just ride normally, and you're like...
And you could just see the look on the faces of all the other bikes coming towards you. They're all suddenly starting to behave, you know.
So how does it feel, though, just riding like that?
No, it's fine. It's great. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it felt like I was just out for a ride with mates.
What about you? What did you think? It all focused on Andy.
To start with, I feel okay now. I'm looking forward to getting in front.
Did you spot anything that he was doing, Steve was doing, that you weren't?
Not really, because I'm still quite new to it. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll find out, won't we?
I know.
All right. So, Steve, how was that then, mate?
Yeah, good. So, yeah, lovely little ride, really. So, firstly, and probably most importantly, there was nothing there that made me think, oh, you know, no major safety red flags or anything like that. So, you strike me as a man that's done your course pre-reads well, and you've obviously, I think, read about cornering and positioning and things like that. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see that you're moving the bike around within your lane on the road, which is nice. We quite often get people that kind of sit in the centre of the road. So we sometimes talk about position 1, 2 and 3, sort of segmenting our lane into those 3. So position 2 being the centre. We quite often see people that just kind of, I'm in the middle, that's my safe little ground and I'm going to stay there. But actually, we're on motorcycles, aren't we? So let's use that space we've got on the road to kind of increase our view and gain a better view of the hazards and things that might be coming towards us. And you are doing that. I think there's areas where you got it slightly wrong. Right. However, for the most part, the fact that you're thinking about it, the fact that you're moving the bike around, is a really good positive thing, and it's something you can just keep building on. Once you start that process, it will start to flow more naturally. So yeah, that was good. I think for me, we're all a little bit different. When we're going in a straight line and we've got a good view, I tend to like to sit more towards position 3. So, you know, arguably you're closer to the hazards coming this way, but we can see them from a long way off, can't we, coming towards us? Whereas I'm probably more concerned about what's on the near side. Gotcha. Position 2.
Was I drifting into
occasionally you moved about. It's kind of slightly out of that sync, but for the most part it was good. And as I say, what I think is a real positive is that you are moving the bike around to extend your view, which is what we want to see. So definitely keep working on that. There was, and I'm being sort of fussy here now, so
please do. That's what I want.
I think on one of the roundabouts we indicated to come off slightly earlier than we should have, so it could have been construed that you were going to come off.
I know the one you mean.
The sort of off prior to the one that we did. And again, it's all nerves, isn't it? Because I'm behind you and things, but we just want to be mindful of that, because car drivers will see that indicator and think he's going off there, and then actually they pull out in front of you. And that's the same with not cancelling, which you didn't do, I have to say, but it's a common motorcyclist fault that we forget to cancel an indicator, and we're riding down the road and the car pulls out because they think we're going to take a turn that actually we're not. So that, just be mindful of that. Speed-wise, very moderated. I mean, I wouldn't have been adverse to being a little bit faster than we were, but you know, that's but there was certainly no issues with the speed, and generally a nice distance. We weren't getting right up behind cars in front of us, which is another kind of bugbear. So yeah, generally a nice distance off the back of things. So yeah, lots of positives in that, I would say. So yeah, I think there's
still more practice to
stuff to keep working on, of course, but there were definitely a lot of positives in there. And I say, most importantly of all is no major red flags safety wise. It was a safe ride. There was no issues there. Okay. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the feedback.
So what I take from that then is, as soon as you switch the engine on, it went all to pot then.
That's
Go next.
That's a good theory.
No pressure. No pressure.
So what you're looking for is an honest ride.
Absolutely.
Just to ride how you normally ride.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing. I think, you know, invariably, because you've got a police officer behind you, there's that temptation to, you want to do what you think we want you to see. But actually, the purpose of Bike Safe is ride how you normally would. Let us see you for kind of warts and all, as it were, and then we can try and steer you in the right direction. And this is just the first stepping stone of what hopefully might become some sort of further training for these people. So if they can get a taster of it, see what we're about, see what's available with, you know, ROSPA and IAM, and then hopefully move on to further training. And even if you take one tiny piece away from today, we consider that a win, you know, if there's something that just makes them a little bit safer.
Yeah, definitely.
You're next.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Oh, I'm nervous now, but I can't wait.
Shouldn't be nervous.
Yeah, I'm going to be nervous.
As long as you keep the front wheel down, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. It's good fun. Enjoy it.
Bike Safe is really good. They give you an input, like a classroom input, and it's not like a formal classroom input. It's really informal, isn't it?
I didn't realise you had to do stuff on the prior to the
pre-read.
3 hours, he said.
Yeah. Well, it's really important, because even though you get given that stuff to do, it's not a test. It's an investment in you, isn't it? And then when you come to the Bike Safe Day, it means that you spend less time in the office learning about lines and learning about figures and all this sort of stuff. And it's not a test, but then you can go out and put that into practice with the practical knowledge that the police officers give you as well.
And it's really important. It is. I mean,
it really is. It really is.
It is. You know, we're trying to, through our work with Rosper on our channel and Vision Zero.
Yeah.
You know, and we're working with Devon and Cornwall Police. You know, we want to reduce motorcycle deaths and accidents, and if this is how we do it, then that's where we need to do it. But don't be frightened of signing up for it and all the training courses.
Yeah. And for those people that think advanced riding's for old fuddy-duddies and Bike Safe is just for people who want to be police officers or go out and ride with police officers, you couldn't be further from the truth, because I'm not an old fuddy-duddy yet. Some people might. No, we're not. But the way in which we ride, for me, has changed my whole life. So I've met loads of people that love bikes. I've got a big circle of friends and acquaintances that are all bike riders. I now ride the world.
Well, you know people.
I know people. They know me, yeah. But we ride around the world. We take people around the world. We ride the same in every country that we ride. And do you know what? I enjoy my riding far more, and it's opened the possibilities to the rest of my life. It's not just about what happens on the road.
You know, I used to know a guy who openly admitted to me the reason he did some motorcycle training was because he'd go out on his pocket rocket, drive for an hour, come back and be absolutely shattered because of the adrenaline rush and the fact he was doing dangerous stuff. And he says if he hadn't done any extra training, it would have killed him.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the reason to do it. And, you know, how many times do you go around a bend and see one of those little flower displays? Shocking.
Yeah, they're there for a reason.
So Bike Safe, let's get on it, eh?
Yeah, and they do it all up and down the country, so no matter where you live in the UK, obviously, I think they do it in Ireland as well, but in the UK and Ireland, Scotland and Wales, they all do some sort of Bike Safe. So type in Bike Safe, we'll put all the links in the description. Book yourself on a course. It's not very much money, and when you think, even if it was £500 for the day, it's not an amount of money that you should be worried about. Yes, it's a lot of money if it was 500 quid, but it's an investment in you and your riding and in your enjoyment in your life, isn't it?
And then when you've done it, you'll be more interested in signing up for something like Rosper or the IM. So let's get on, eh?
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
See you soon. Subscribe, all that jazz. Bye.